warm welcome and thank you for joining us, and you're right in time for our views. My name is Shivana Auma and I am leading this particular segment. Joining me are none other than the beautiful ladies that you're always constantly seeing on this show. I hope that you have followed each and every one of them on social media. After following, we shall be sending our... Okay, so joining me is none other than Priva Elibaz as well as Agi Uwase. Good morning, ladies, and thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Good morning, Shivan. Happy to be here.
So today I woke up early in the morning and my palm was itching me. I don't know what does that mean when a palm is itching someone? What does it mean?
You're going to get money.
So does it also give the specific person that is going to bring forth that money?
You see, the funny thing about these things is that sometimes they actually do happen. Like your palm itches, and before you know it, at the end of the day, you have some money in your pockets. So
it comes with you actually believing that it could happen.
Oh,
you know the thing about faith, unwavering faith. That is it. So if your palm itches, then you know it may not actually show you. You don't have to know how you are going to get the money.
My best friend told me that, you see, now when your palm itches, according to the ladies, that means you're going to get money. My best friend told me now when your foot itches, the part that steps down, that you're going to get money in dollars. So that is why today we are going to have a conversation in regard to superstitions. Now, superstitions actually date way back, and it is believed that the concept of superstition has existed for a millennia, and some of today's most popular superstitions had their beginnings in ancient Babylonia. Now, for people that are very well conversant with the Bible, we all know that Babylon was a cursed continent, was a cursed nation, was a cursed place with things that just did not please God. So ladies, today we are discussing superstitions. And my first question would be, even before I get into the definition of superstitions, which we shall get into, I would like to first understand, what is your take on superstitions? What are some of those superstitious beliefs that when someone mentions them, you're like, really, guys, can someone send me a glass of water, please?
Like, you don't believe them, or you believe them?
Yes, you do not believe them. The ones that you do not believe. Let's start from there.
Let me see. How about I start with the ones that I believe in? Because
okay.
I don't think, for me, when my eye twitches, like for real, I think since time immemorial when we were little, the upper eye, I always think something good is going to happen. The lower eye, I feel like something bad is going to happen. And I'll tell you that happened to me last week. I think it was from 6 a.m. up to like 10 when we're actually done with the show. I did not tell you guys, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, what bad thing is going to happen today? And I went through the entire day anticipating that something bad might happen. So I do believe in that. The other one is... an owl. It's an owl. You know that bird, that scary bird with huge eyes. I think every time I hear it, do birds quack? What that sound they make? You know, especially at night, I know that someone is going to pass on. Like, for real. I believe that a lot.
So
the one that I don't believe in, because you ask what you believe and what you don't believe. The one I don't believe in is when you are crossing, when you're actually on the road and then a rat, either it's a rat, I don't know whether it's a cat, but something, an animal, a rat actually a huge one. Whenever it crosses the road as you're, on the road, that you go back home, that something bad is unfortunately is going to happen that day. I remember that there's this one time it happened and we're like, you know what, let's just go. Let's see if it happens. So nothing happened. So that I'm like, maybe actually it's not true.
Okay, how about you, Pri?
First of all, I would have to say I'm not really a superstitious person, yeah? It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how people attach, their bad luck or good luck to all these things of, the supernatural realm. I do not, but I've had some of the things people say that, if there's an owl on your thingy on your house, someone is going to die.
Some of those that
I've also heard
with you at all.
Some of them that don't sit well with me.
Some of the superstitious beliefs that do not sit well with you at all.
Can I say that I'm just like a born-again Christian that I know? Come on. Probably that one person is going to say, bless you once you sneeze, because that's the best that I can do. Other than, thinking about something and,
not putting on your mask and,
No. I would really say that I'm not really superstitious. I do not believe in any of those things. But I have had people say, if my hand is itching, I'm going to receive money. If my upper lid of the eye is twitching, I'm going to get money. If it's a lower one, there is bad luck coming. But come on, you guys, how can you believe in the unbelievable? Come on.
You see why? Let me just say something. I think for me, there's a time when my upper lid, just like she mentioned, was twitching for quite some time. and something really extremely good happened for me. So I think people believe in these things because some actually they do happen and sometimes they don't happen. So I don't know whether it's about people believing them when they say you believe in something it's going to happen, or maybe they're actually true. So for me, I honestly can say that until this day, I cannot say I'm not superstitious. I actually believe in some of these things. I do, 100%.
One of the superstitions that really blow my mind, the first one is the famous tree in Mook. For those of you who have studied in Makerere University or those who pray at St. Francis Chapel, there is that tree. Okay, there are so many trees around Mook and there are so many birds that sit on them. So according to most people who go to Mook, they say when a bird poops on you, that year you're going to graduate, especially if you're in your final year. So if it doesn't poop on you, just know
Chances are
that you're not going to what? Graduate. That's the first one. That's the one that blew my mind. And they say when you're a visiting student, either from Uganda Christian University or whichever university you're from, and a bird poops on you, it's even better luck, because then you're going to be given a master's scholarship. So I'm like, but guys,
Oh God.
where are we getting these superstitious beliefs from? Another one is, and I would say some really work for some people. I mean, the itching of the palm, and then the twitching of the eye. And then other people say when you bite your lip, when you knock your little toe on a door or something hard, all these things, something bad is going to happen. Now, the one which I do not agree with is when a man moves out and then you meet a woman on the way. If the first thing you see when you move out of your home is a woman, that is a sign of bad luck. I think that is a very barbaric way to live, and I do
It's
not
so weird.
believe in
Still
it.
thinking about some of the superstitions. We had a neighbor, and for him, he used to say that when he goes to his shop, he cannot sweep the previous night. If he sweeps the previous night, all the blessings will be
Swept
away.
Tomorrow he won't make
And I'm
money.
thinking, are you joking me? Like, are you serious?
When I was growing up, my grandmother told me that women do not whistle at night. When you whistle at night, you're calling all the men that died from your lineage to come and marry.
Or snakes.
There is
Or when you saw at night.
No, no.
Is it when
Oh,
you
yeah,
saw at
yeah,
night?
No, when you,
there's
yes,
that
when
too.
you the stitching,
Yes,
with a needle at night, that something bad might happen. But my mom explained to me that, and he said they used to use some of these things to to create or instill fear in little kids. Because imagine you're stitching or sewing your cloth at night. You chances are you'll actually pierce yourself. So
yeah.
it was more of instilling fear in people that they don't have to. I mean, if you're sweeping at night, honestly, people are sleeping. You're sweeping at night. Like your neighbors can actually tell that you're. So I think some of these were just to instill fear in people.
Because the funny thing is that I'll wake up at 11 p.m. midnight and start cleaning my room
properly, and nothing will happen. Another one that I remember in school is that every single time that you at school, in boarding school, we had deckers.
Yeah.
So if you slept at the topmost bed, you would fall prey for the kakalabanda. Because the kakalabanda would never
Cannot
bend.
bend.
So if you're in the middle bed or the down the bed, you would be saved. But if you sleep at the top of the bed, then that means you are a target for the kakalabanda.
Let me ask, do you think that these things are true? Because back in school, just like you mentioned, there are people who would wake up and they say someone slapped them at night and they woke up and they couldn't see the person. So that would be like, you'd ask yourself, is it also true? Or maybe some students would actually slap their fellow students and then tomorrow
I'll tell you one that I did and
worked.
worked.
Yes.
But I'll tell you one that I did that worked. So leave alone the kalabanda thing of, if you sleep at the top, then the kalabanda will come for you. The one of the spoon.
What is that? Oh,
Ta, 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 ta. So you get 2 spoons, you bang them together, and to a friend, for example, it's Aggie and they're sleeping. So you say, ta, ta, ta. Aggie hypnosis, actually. Well, that is the scientific word for it, but for us, we used to call them spoon linking. So you beat the spoon and say, Aggie, were you dating my boyfriend? Aggie, did you cheat in class? Aggie, do you have a crush on Mr. So-and-so?
And they would answer.
Exactly, as you record.
Wow.
So ladies,
very well.
surprisingly, billions of people in the world, especially in the United States and across the world, are very superstitious. Actually, a quarter of adults in the world consider themselves to be so. Recent trends reveal that younger people are more superstitious than older adults. In fact, 70% of the world's population rely on good luck charms for better academic performance. Millions of people in China think that the color red or that the number 8 will bring good luck. That is why when you're actually getting into a Chinese family, or you're getting married into a Chinese family, and if you're a lady and you're meeting your mother-in-law, the mother to your fiancé, it's advised that you wear something red because it's a sign of good luck. So my question is, very well knowing that we have talked about all this and we realize most of these things are very irrational, why do people all over the world still believe in superstitious beliefs? Is it a coping mechanism?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a coping mechanism, but I would say some people actually believe in such superstitions to kind of like reduce the anxiety and gain that sense of like control of the situations they're in. As human beings, I feel like we actually have that illusion of control. Like you almost want to have everything under control. You want to know how it's going to flow. But when you're, uncertain in some times, and then your eye is twitching, you've been looking for money, and you believe in these things. It's almost like everything is coming full circle for you. Like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm actually going to get money. And the funny thing is that I may say I'm not really like superstitious, but I think sometime back in 2020, before the lockdown, like beginning of 2020, my eye was twitching, like my upper lid was twitching for almost like 3 hours. I almost even actually got it on camera. And then later in the day, I actually received money, and a lot of money. My mind was like, I knew a good thing would happen, but I didn't necessarily think it was money. But I can understand why people believe in such things. For me, I would say some people really struggle a lot with anxiety and not having so many other things under their control. So if you can believe in that and believe that a supernatural power is going to come and, put everything into perspective for you, you probably believe in that thing as much as you can.
Well, I do think that people believe in these things because actually they work. Yes, I'll tell you why. Do you remember the blankets and wine of December 2019 when Jadena was coming in the country? I remember that December, there's a lot of rain, and that's why it couldn't happen at Lugogo Cricket Oval, and they pushed it to Zoe Grounds. And people were like, it was raining literally every day from morning to evening. And people were like, this blankets and rain is not going to work because it's going to rain. What happened? I remember it didn't rain that one day out of the so many other days when it had been raining. It didn't rain. And I remember what people said is the rainmakers that the organizers of blankets and wine used must have had, a lot of power. So when something like that happens, people start to actually believe that these things happen. I'll tell you something. This is actually very, very weird, but it happened. There's an uncle of mine who passed on, and we went to for burial in the village. And they said, because it was also still a rainy season, they said that you get the cloth in which they died wearing, that one, and you throw it on top of the roof. And that day it won't rain. Like I told you, very weird. And they did it, and it did not rain the entire day. So when something like that happens, even if you don't believe in superstition, you will start to believe.
I would like to think of that as just something as small as a coincidence. I mean, let me give an example. How many of us have something called maybe a lucky shirt, a lucky number, a lucky cologne, lucky shoes, whatever it is. I know I may not be someone who I do not believe in superstitions. However, I will say that if I'm going for a job interview, if I'm going to meet someone that I really want something from, I'll always put on that thing that I'll say, oh, this is my lucky bracelet, or this is my lucky shoe, or this is my lucky shirt. And if things pan out, then I'm like, there might actually be truth to what people say, that when you put on your lucky shirt, you're most likely going to get into that organization. But isn't it something?
But you say coincidences can't happen every other day.
No, but what is the probability that you are going to walk into an organization with your lucky shirt and get the job, and you are going to walk into an organization with a lucky shirt and not get the job?
I think for when it comes to luck, yes, especially those things of, you have a lucky whatever shirt, you have a lucky trouser, you have a lucky sports kit. I think they happen more frequently for like sportsmen, and it can be understandable, Sportsmen always have that lucky,
that lucky
kit, even their numbers, they are very passionate about, numbers, all those things. And I feel it has worked for them somehow, somewhere. So it may not necessarily be a coincidence, but actually these things may be, you see, I'll just mention this. Sometime back, several years ago, my grandpa made me watch a movie. And what I picked from the movie was the way how the law of attraction, especially to the entire universe, you as a person, the things that you want, how are you getting them? How are you channeling them? How are you telling the universe that you're actually ready to do what? To receive some of these things. So for me, maybe positive mental attitude, yes, positive mental attitude, but people still believe in those things and they
And
actually
some of them
work. So
say
it's a
even
way of manifesting some of the good positive outcomes of your, yeah.
Even some of these things date from the Bible. I'm sorry. If you remember that the verse of "You're the salt of the earth,"
Yes.
I'll tell you that you go to some churches and they tell you that if you actually not holy salt, I'm sorry, not holy salt, but if you get
there
salt,
holy
your
salt
usual
again?
yes, there people sell holy salt. Are you kidding me right now?
Okay.
Like,
So-
so that's the holy
The holy rice.
You
Talk
remember the
about
holy rice?
holy salt. So what happens
So
is
that's holy rice.
yes, that when you get the and this is from ancient, yeah, those people in the Bible, Jews, I don't know, but you get that salt and you put it in your bathing water like every morning. The normal salt you use to cook and you like shower. Like it chases away bad energy, like bad energy. You know what? But you know, like she talked about the law of attraction and all that. There's always that bad energy that's, you know, hovering around your house, around your workplace. Like, yeah, it does that. And that is something in the Bible. Yes, just that I cannot really trace the verse. I'm not well versed with it. But yes, it happens. So for me, I think that the supernatural world is actually true. Me, I believe that it's real. It's real. Let me ask you something. When people go to be prayed over, like in churches, whenever they say this one has demons, why do when you see people aggressive, actually some of them they actually, you know, chain them up because they have all this power. You know, they're fighting, they're mad or something, and they pray over them, and then after some time this person is fine. Doesn't that make you believe that okay, yes, there's those who are acting, but I think there's some things that are real that I have witnessed with my eyes, my own eyes. So
Okay, so Steve Wonder once said in regard to superstition, and he said, when you believe in things that you do not understand, then you will suffer. So my next question is, do you think that there is a downside to superstitious beliefs, especially when it comes to women? But before we answer that question, I have a video that I would like us to watch. The first is a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception or accusation. Well, the next one is an irrational object attitude of mind toward the supernatural nature of God resulting from superstition. So even as we wait for the video, and that particular video, just to summarize it up, it had superstitious beliefs, especially in regard to women that are pregnant, women that have given birth. When a child is born, you're first supposed to bathe them with a chogero. You know, you're supposed to put waist beads around. So for some people, it's because they want the babies to have hips. Other people, it's for good luck, to attract men. It's crazy. So I just want to understand your perception in regard, especially to superstitious beliefs around pregnant women and women as well.
I've been pregnant before. I'm a mother, yes. And one thing I have to say is that I never fell for the superstitious beliefs, so I beg your pardon, in regards to how you're supposed to handle a newborn. Chogero was never an option for me because I'm thinking this is something that originates from Buganda. People who actually do these things maybe have their own understanding and also have their own reasons as to why they're doing this. You said if you actually believe in things that you don't know, you're bound to suffer. So for me to actually do something to my son just because it's cast in stone for many people. And you know, I had mothers giving me unsolicited advice. Did you bathe him in chogero? Oh my God, he's going to have colic.
Advice.
Yes, you see, and that's one of the things that people normally do, giving unsolicited advice to pregnant women and mothers. But moving away from that, I never did any of those things because I did not understand them. I did not understand them, so I was never, ever going to do them. For me, I'll say that all these things people are telling you, they're just a trick of the mind. At the end of the day, I never showered my son in chogero or anything like that, but I prayed for him. I said, God, since you gave me this boy, you know how he's going to survive and be well and be okay. And I can tell you, my boy is about 11 months old now and he has never fallen sick, not even simple flu, and he never showered chogero. So it's just like a trick of the mind. Those superstitions surrounding pregnant women, surrounding newborns, it's just a trick of the mind. Those things are not real.
When you say trick of the mind, it does make sense, because if someone woke up in the morning and said, when you're bathing your child for the very first time, buy them a chogero so that, you know, they're healthy, they do not fall sick. it is basically to bring comfort to you that, okay, I have done this, they are safe.
There's no
So I would
comfort.
say very many times the superstitious beliefs that we believe in is because we want to give a sort of false calmness, false security, something that we can feel and say, okay, I did this, so this actually won't happen.
You see, the funny thing is that all the advice that I got made me even more anxious. Because you're telling me once the umbilical cord falls off, I should put about 2 drops or 3 drops of this medicine from a traditional,
Yeah,
you know,
have reminded
not a
me.
traditional healer, but like, you know, those people who engage in traditionally developing medicine from these,
Traditional medicine,
yeah, plants
herbal
and
medicine.
what, yes, the herbal medicine. You put 3 drops, and I'm thinking, damn, 3 drops. What if something actually bad happens? How do I come back from this?
You think that is crazy? Among the superstitious beliefs that I found in a certain hospital here in Kampala is that when the moment a child opens their mouth, the very first time they cry, apparently you're supposed to give them alcohol.
No.
That they won't
Yeah,
cry. That you give them just a sip of alcohol and they will not cry. Now the video that I wanted us to watch is actually there, so please take a look. But pregnant women and women have really suffered.
To the question you asked about pregnant women, I think it's the explanations that they give for these things that doesn't make sense. If they say chogero is going to what? It's going to help your child have good luck and all that.
Good skin,
Good luck.
Yes.
No, but good skin, yes, because what they do, these are herbs. These are herbs that you can go in your plantation or anywhere and get. I mean, God created these things. And some of the medicines, if you talk about aloe vera, if you talk about, there's cactus, those are the things that they use. And these are actually known medicines. So I think it's just the explanation. I mean, if they tell you it's probably to help your child not get rash, you know, that rash that newborn babies usually have, then yes, it's okay.
They've given you the explanation, yeah? They've given you the explanation. We are trying to make sure your child doesn't get a rash or doesn't suffer with the skin problems and all those things. But then in the same spirit, they tell you as soon as it falls off the umbilical cord, even before you do anything, even before you shower the baby, even before you do what, put that medicine.
That's where I have a problem. That's where I have a problem.
Because it comes with those
that's
things
where
as
I
well,
have a
you know?
problem.
It comes with those things as well.
So now that
It's
we
not
have
like medicine, it has terms and conditions and miscellaneous
right
attachments.
from the beginning of this conversation, we have been only highlighting the bad things in regard to superstitious beliefs. But don't you think there is a good side to people who actually believe in superstitions?
Go get saved, my friend. Go be born again.
It gives you comfort.
Okay.
I don't know if let's say you've been having a bad day and your upper eyelid twitches, you will anticipate for something good, and trust me, you'll have a better mood during the day. But I feel like they're not things that you should totally believe in, because there's so much disappointment. Even some people might lead you to make mistakes, especially on your children.
Yeah.
There's those other things that are attached to evil, to demons. I mean, if you go to a shrine and they're telling you about, I put some things on your child, charms, stuff like that, those things could bind your child for the rest of their life, because you do not know what they use to make those charms. So they can be detrimental to your child. But on the other hand, these simple things of eye twitching, what those ones, it's okay. You can believe. If you get the money, you get it. If you don't get it, it's fine.
Okay.
Life goes on.
Preva Elibas, please, isn't there a good side to people having superstitious beliefs?
The good side may only be for you to manage your anxiety.
Like
and
solving the problem,
have, yes,
not a long-term
and have
solution.
control, yes, and have control of the situation temporarily. But moving on, down the road, are you going to keep practicing the same ritual, believing in the same thing because that's how your life is going to work? I don't think so. I don't think so, because the moment it actually fails to work, the anxiety you're avoiding is actually going to come 10 times fold. So. Superstitions, no, please go ahead and get saved. I do not believe in superstitions. There is no reason to believe in superstitions. If it has happened, it's a coincidence. It's good luck. Believe that good luck. You know, if it's a bad thing, why do you even anticipate a bad thing happening? Because a certain part of your body is twitching, my friend. You could be suffering from ocular hypertension or glaucoma, and you think you have an eye it's good that you're getting money. Could be you have an eye problem. So
Can you imagine?
I mean, if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, don't tie yourself on it that if I don't get it, I don't know who has
The problem is that it becomes a ritual, because you start believing in these things, you start accepting them, you start thinking they have to happen for you.
The greatest challenge with superstitious beliefs is that, you know the saying where they say, what you believe in is what manifests, or what you constantly think about is what manifests. You're woken up in the morning, because your legs cannot walk straight, like now, me, my legs, there's a way I walk, I just, so because your legs cannot walk straight and you know, for some reason you've woken up, you're still sleepy, and you knock your little toe on the table, and then you're thinking, oh my God, something bad is going to happen. Even when something bad is not going to happen, something bad will definitely happen because you have already put it in your mind.
Do you know how bad it will happen?
I think it's very important that we learn to just have positive thoughts. That should be able to cut down on the superstitious beliefs. Yes, Aggie?
You see how that will happen? Because if you knock your toe on the table and you're like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen, you already get into a bad mood.
Exactly.
You'll get to work, you'll be talking to your supervisor in a certain way. Before you know it, you get into an altercation. Before you know it, you're fired. Because it started with you believing it, and then you had a bad mood. Not that it was actually supposed to happen.
So please, in case we come here any day with a bad mood, know that we are under superstitious.
There's only good vibes. There's only good vibes on Sunrise at Sea. We cannot have
well, that
bad
is
energy.
indeed true. Well, let's look at why superstitious beliefs may not be bad after all. Well, the first one is, this is because superstitions can change the way people behave. Engaging in ritual and in high anxiety situation can make people feel less anxious and therefore perform better than others. Believing that you are lucky can improve performance at a skilled task. The next one is, superstitions provide meaningful psychological benefits because they give us an illusion of control. The word is illusion. It is actually not real. You're actually not in control. Especially in uncertain situations. Now, Donald Saucier, professional psychological sciences at Kansas State University, said, we can now believe that we can influence events whether or not we actually come. With this sense of power, we can manage difficult emotions such as helplessness. Again, it's an illusion. The next is, for many people, engaging with superstitious behaviors provides a sense of control and reduces anxiety, which is why levels of superstition increase at times of stress and anger. This is particularly the cause during the times of economic crisis and social uncertainty. So finally, parting shots, 1 second, superstitious beliefs.
They are not real, but they can also be real. So believe what you believe. Okay. Honestly, that's all I have to say.
And well, for me, what I have to say about superstitions, next time you encounter a broken mirror, or you
that one,
a black cat,
a black cat, or you
or
see
a woman on the way,
or you see number 13 somewhere, please. It's just your head playing tricks on you.
I don't think
don't believe that
number
stuff.
13 is real. Friday 13th is actually real.
No, it's not. We're just saying this thing. It is not real. The next time you encounter number 13, the next time you your thingy itches your
the number 666. That
The
also
666 is also it's just you using your head to just complicate things for yourself. At the end of the day, please learn to take control of your life. Have a positive mindset. Whatever is going to happen is the result of your actions. The consequences are as a result of your actions, not because you have good luck because your eye is twitching. No, it's not like that.
Okay.
Go pray, go get saved,
Okay.
but also live a purposeful life that is very positive. That's the only way you will avoid these superstitions.
I am not going to re-echo any of the words Priva has mentioned. A person that has ears has heard. A word to a wise is enough. And that winds up the conversation that we had for you this morning on Our Views. Wait a minute. My upper eye is twitching. Do you see that? Well, that winds up what we had for you this morning on Our Views. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea and do not blink.
We've come to the end of the show this morning. We had a beautiful episode of Sunrise at Sea. And of course, we concluded with a discussion on superstitions. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on, but please believe what you can actually handle. Do not believe in things that you actually do not believe in. Of course, we also did have a conversation in regards to the cost of living protests that are happening in Jinja and were meant to actually happen in Kampala. Of course, the situation leaves a lot to be desired, and as we see His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni address the nation today, we wait to see some of the issues that he's actually going to be hinting on and actually giving solutions to Ugandans. Well, the conversation continues on our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CTV Uganda. We also stream live on our website at www.ctv.co.ug, and also please head over to our YouTube channel. Yeah, we post all this content there for you. You can always find it even after the show is done. My name is Priva Elibaz. Have yourselves a wonderful morning.